Abandonment sucks, so we're gonna rescue all of the Lost Chao and A rank them as well. We're gonna do this in order of the story mode, so Hero Story, Dark Story, and then Last Story. Every single one, and I'll be giving you the requirements for the level up items as well. So, to A rank and find the Lost Chao in City Escape, you're going to need the Mystic Melody level up item. Now, if you're seeing this version, it's because the first version got corrupted because of a weird issue that popped up, and I have to now replay through this, and it's totally fine. Now, what I'm going to mainly do is commentate through most of these, but if it's too long, you might see some jump cuts because I will name the specific part of a level you need to look out for. This, for example, to get the Chao here, you need to get to the giant loop-de-loop that's like midway through the level. So you might see me play through the level and just commentate some silly dumb stuff, but otherwise you can skip to where the loop-de-loop is and go from there. I'll set you free, follow me. Set me free. I feel like sometimes abandonment is good. I feel like there's certain villains that if they were abandoned just a bit harder in history, you wouldn't have caused any problems, Abandonment is not always a bad thing, Maybe these Chao are on adventures, and that's why they're out here being lost. They're lost, and they want to be found, but they don't, they're not in horrible, miserable situations, They wanted to be out here. They went on an adventure, and now they just need a little help getting home. A little GPS. They got Zoro, There's Zoro a bit. Zoro the Chao. And it's fine. Now, because this mission is based off of time, I would recommend skipping any robots and rings you don't have to get, that you would usually try and farm to get an A rank and other levels. Finding the Lost Chao is purely based off of speed. So you just want to kind of blaze through these stages pretty quickly. If you know any speedrun strats, you can do that too, but you don't have to use speedrun strats. However, to be able to get there in a reasonable time and still A rank. So I'm going to jump here. At the bottom of this loop-de-loop where the springs are, instead, jump off, go to the left, play the Mystic Melody, and a spring will spawn. And then you want to go up these platforms. There's going to be a series of pulleys and springs. Use the pulleys and springs to get up towards where the Chao is. How the Chao get up here? It has wings, so maybe it can fly? I'm not entirely sure. Uh-oh. Okay. There's a lightning gun beetle, and there's a spring right here. Grab this pulley, and then there's a pole you need to grab. 1, 2. Hug the wall after you jump off of that, and you'll run to the Chao, and then guess what? In about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, that is enough for an A rank. Absolutely. There it is. For Wild Canyon, the level up items you're going to need are the Mystic Melody, the Hammer Gloves, and the Shovel Claw. Start the level like we just did by immediately going to the right and climbing up the wall in the corner section, because there's going to be metal boxes that you're going to need to be able to break with the Hammer Gloves. Reveal this mural that you dig into the center of with the Shovel Claw. When you're in here, the Mystic Melody will be right here, a shrine. Play it to open this door, and then immediately to the left is a second one that you want to play that will spawn a portal. Jump through that portal, and you'll find yourself the Lost Chao. Just kind of miserable, but not for long, because now they're unmiserable because they're unabandoned. And if you do it like we did, in about 31 seconds, that's enough for the A rank.
Yeah, this is perfect.
To find the Lost Chao in Prison Lane, you're going to need the Mystic Melody, and you're going to need to get past the giant elevator section that's about midway through the level. Now, honestly, you don't need the jet boosters, or just the booster, I believe it's called, but it can help you get around this level faster, because again, finding the Lost Chao is based off of time. Kind of want to run and gun too. That's a quick way, because you're not here to get chain lock-ons for the score. You're here to go fast. And contrary to popular belief, you can be fast with the walker. There's a jet engine on the back. I keep shooting Omochao, and it's very unfortunate, really. This is the giant elevator, by the way. In case you need the visual. Again, and it's totally fine if you need the visual, but this is the giant elevator, what it looks like. Once you're at the top of the giant elevator, it works a little something like this. Hit the checkpoint, go through this hallway, right? The level's pretty linear, so it's linear, I should say, so it's not too hard. When you get to this room immediately right here, go to the left. You'll see that shrine on that platform. To get up there, use this elevator. And this is why I said you do need the jet boosters, by the way. You need to be able to hover over to the shrine, play the shrine, hit the spring, and up here will be a bunch of gun beetle robots, unarmed, but you still need to kill all of them to open the cell door, and you need to do that to be able to run down to the other end where the Chao is being held prisoner. This is what I like to call the capstan Chao, as a matter of fact. That sucker was in a prison cell. But you do it fast enough, you get the A rank, under 1 minute and 50. You can take 1 minute and 50 just about to still get the A rank. To find the Lost Chao in Metal Harbor, you're going to need the Mystic Melody and the Bounce Bracelet. And that, since this level is pretty fast, because Sonic's a pretty fast person, we're just going to actually commentate as we go through it, because I also want to pitch you all the question, do you want me to do a follow-up video where I talk about how to get all these level up items? Because I realize a lot of these are requirements if you want to be able to find the Lost Chao in a decent amount of time. I should have light dash right there, matter of fact. But once you get to this first air carrier past the, past all this, so dodge all this, go immediately over here where the Chao box is. You need to bounce bracelet up as quickly as possible. Play the Mystic Melody. The Mystic Melody will then summon some floating platforms above this area right here, and this is why you need the bounce bracelet to be able to jump up here, and then homing attack. Homing attack as fast as possible. You need to do this in sub 50 seconds to get the A rank, which we just did in 48. 48 seconds will be enough to get you the A rank. To find the Lost Chao and A rank it in Green Forest, you're going to need to get about midway through this level, and you're going to need the Mystic Melody and the Bounce Bracelet to level up items for Sonic. I would like to remind people, the best way to get an A rank in these levels is also speed. So whatever you have to do to cut down time, do it. Enemies you might usually go out of your way to kill, unless they're actually helping you progress through the level fast, go for it. Otherwise, bob and weave. Now when I say about halfway through the level, roughly when we get to the vine swinging right here, this is where it gets important. What you want to do is destroy these guys like usual, right? But then stop right here before the checkpoint. To the side over here is going to be a platform that has the Mystic Melody on it. Play it. What it's going to do is spawn some platforms. You can actually save yourself some time by jumping back up here, and then you still need a bounce bracelet to get up here in time, and then homing attack quickly over here, and grab the Lost Chao. In about 1 minute and 22 seconds, that's still enough time, though, to get you the A rank.
That was cool.
Some of these are a bit forgiving on their time. To find the Lost Chao on Pumpkin Hill, you actually don't need any level up items. All you need to do when you spawn in is go immediately to the left rocket over here to the Church Mountain, okay? Then, quickly speed over here to this rocket that will take you above Pumpkin Mountain. At the height of this rocket, let go and glide immediately. Glide all the way to these floating platforms that are way up here. The reason you want to do this is because the Chao is at the end of this runway, and you can get up here though without any level up items, though otherwise you need the Mystic Melody, go to the top of Pumpkin Mountain, and it will spawn platforms that you can then get up to this platform with. When under 30 seconds, that's the A rank.
Yeah, this is perfect.
My Emerald, my destiny. To find the Lost Chao in Mission Street, you're going to need the Mystic Melody and the booster level up items for Tails. You're actually also going to need to get like 3/4 of the way through this level. This one, you can take nearly 3 minutes to find this Chao, and you'll still get an A rank. So, that's what we're about to do. I guess on a little bit on the commentary side, if you do have ooh, my goodness, missiles. Missiles and finding Lost Chao don't mix very well. You want to get hit as little as possible, because even though you can take nearly 3 minutes, anytime you can shave off is good time. Wow. Okay. There's a time I thought I was really good at this game. And as I'm sitting here waiting for these to go, knowing that there's speedrunner strats to get around stuff like this, I'm realizing maybe I'm not him, you know? It's a free gold beetle. It can add 1,000 points in case, you know, take a little extra, you know? But score, again, does not matter. It is all purely based off of time. So you just want to be fast. This is like a glitchless, you know, kind of run situation. You can, if you can use speedrun strats, go for it, but you don't have to, is the point. You can run and shoot. You don't need chain lock-ons. It's all good, really. I just want to know who abandoned these poor Chao. Who would abandon a poor Chao? Definitely not me. That's why we're doing this. We're doing this to beat the abandonment allegations. I got like 3 victims, and they're all going to be wrong by the time I beat this video. So, yeah, it's great. Yeah, you thought I was doing this for selfish reasons. No, buddy. So this one's a fun trick you can try. The switch is right here. You're going to take some damage, but trick the weight into going down, and then quickly hit the switch, and then get on top of it. And then you can have a free elevator ride back up to the top without having to actually go all the way around. It'll save you a few seconds. We need to save time on this. The Walker can be faster than critics will say it is, but it can also, of course, be slower than Sonic the Hedgehog, like the fastest thing alive, right? So once you take all of these to the very top of this area, what you want to do is actually jump off of here before the checkpoint, hover down, and there's a platform back here that has the Mystic Melody on it. play it, and it'll spawn a portal. Jump into the portal, and you'll be met with a series of more of these like pillars, and you need to jump across them. The Lost Chow is actually being bodyguarded rudely by some gun robots, and you know how we feel about gun in this household. We almost fell to our deaths right there. Crazy. And it's already after 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and we're still fine. There's a hunter robot. Here's a Lost Chow. The hunter robot was bullying that Lost Chow. We just beat the bully, actually. So there we go. A rank. Took 2.5 minutes. Still will A rank this level. It's very generous. To find the Lost Chow in Aquatic Mine, start by going up to this front platform and using the pulley to get up. You're going to need the Mystic Melody and the Air Necklace level up items. Play the Mystic Melody when you go up here. You'll see it immediately when the pulley pulls you up. It'll open this like shrine-like door over here. Fight your way down this cavern as fast as possible. Break all these wooden crates and stuff or I guess they're wagons, but get them out your way as fast as possible, and then dive down here in the water. Now, when you're under here, look around with the camera, and you'll look for a place with rings that will send you up, usually to your left or right. Go up that as fast as possible, and then swim down this cavern. Turn the camera again accordingly as needed, because there's a pulley at the end here that will pull you up immediately to the Lost Chow. You'll hear them crying, that's how you know you're getting close. When you do, get up, grab them, and you can easily do that in under 45 seconds. If you do that in under 45 seconds, you will get the A rank.
This is perfect.
Yeah, this is perfect. Just for the people that are going to be thorough, Route 101 does not have a Chow to find, so we actually skip that level and go straight to Hidden Base. To find the Lost Chow in Hidden Base, you're going to need the Mystic Melody level up item, as well as the Booster level up item for Tails. Start by fighting your way through the stage. And this is what I mean, I think in the long form version, I am going to actually leave all this in and just commentate about stuff. Because what if you don't know what halfway through this stage means? You know, I'm not doing you any favors. If I'm making a short, I can worry about cutting it later, but for the long version, y'all can get my voice for a little longer, you know? And then you can also, again, visually see exactly what I'm talking about, which, again, some people are visual learners, and if they're looking at a video guide, they want a video guide. So, you know, it probably would do me best to maybe not cut stuff from this point on. Even if I feel like it would just be a little bit of a time saver. It's like, too bad. Like, maybe you clicked on an hour-long video because you're fine with an hour-long video, and I shouldn't worry about that, so I'm not going to. I'm going to die instead. Essentially, you can just kind of run and gun and use the jet booster to kind of skip a lot of things if you practice enough, right? Because practice is what's really going to make you A-rank these like as fast as possible. Practice is kind of everything. First trying these, you probably can. You might be the most godlike gamer to ever exist and are somehow watching my videos, in which case, thank you. But if not, it's totally fine. You think I recorded this video in one go? You'd be surprised. It was in 2 goes. But anyways, once you get about to this part in the level, past that first pulley level, and you get towards approaching the pyramid's base entrance, alright? How you go about this next part's up to you. I like to hover over this. I don't know if it even saves time anymore. Because you still have to break one of these big ones. Oh my goodness. Once you did this checkpoint, right? The pulley at the feet, alright? Second pulley, jump to it. This is important because this is the section where it's going to be where the Mystic Melody comes into play, right? So the Mystic Melody is going to be through this door. There we go. Play the Mystic Melody. And then we got some foolishness right here. So here, you can just kind of use the jump jets, just kind of jump down and hover so you don't die into the quicksand. Kill this robot, and then you got these rotating boxes that can be a little tricky to jump on, but use the hover to jump on that like that. They rotate twice, and then they'll hold still, by the way. And the Lost Chow will be at the top of this section. And about under 2 minutes and 20 seconds, that is an A rank. I'm not the greatest at explaining this in the moment. Basically, those boxes will rotate twice, like the one on the left that I jumped on. It spins twice, so don't jump yet when you see it spin once, thinking it's going to be safe. It'll spin twice, and then it'll slow down. Then you have a moment to jump on it and then hover to the pulley. All right? Just to put that out there. Sorry, I'll work on my commentary for the rest of this video. To find the Lost Chow in Pyramid Cave, for Sonic, you're going to need the Mystic Melody level up item, as well as the Bounce Bracelet level up item. Now, this one is also one of the more generously timed ones, where you can take nearly 4 minutes to find this Chow, and you will still be rewarded with an A rank, but you do need to know where to go and how to get there as fast as possible, so we're going to try that. You want to get most of the way through the level. You're going to basically the last checkpoint, and I'm going to show you it, of course, but you're basically going near the last checkpoint, and it's going to have a shrine next to it, is how you're going to know you're near that checkpoint. But in the meantime, have any of y'all ever felt abandoned before? And let me ask you, did the thing that made you feel abandoned, if it came back into your life, make you feel not abandoned? Or did it not matter, actually? Did it actually make you feel better that that thing that caused you pain stayed away? Yeah, let's get into some real topics here. We got a whole 4 minutes of level to kill here, so we might as well find some nice, juicy, heavy topics to talk about. They're not really that heavy, though. We're just finding some lost Chao. And I'm wondering what, threw these Chao to the far corners of the planet, and if we're going to ever fight them in a game one day. Because who would ever be so evil as to harm Chao? Even Eggman likes Chao, so it's not even him, right? Something so diabolical in this universe. Castrated these poor... Castated? Castated. That's a dangerous word for this video, I feel. I was going to say casted these poor Chao to the corners of this galaxy. Planet. But also the Ark, so, No, don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. I got the green apple. I'm going for it. Ow. I didn't know I could do that until just now. I don't know if I'll pull this off, but when you get up here, right, with the key, and you go to the speed panels, you can throw this bad boy, and it'll usually land in the center there uncontested. But also, if you hit Omochao and you walk through this at the right way, Omochao will hit the hourglass for you like that, yeah. Lightly spin dash, and try and hit all of these panels without hitting any of these ghosts as much as possible. And you will make it down. Oh, well, and then I just ruined it. And you will make it before the door closes, even though this is a pretty long cavern to make it. My word. Okay, suddenly, now that I'm on camera, I can't make this. Okay, cool. Just kidding, we still made it. So not this one. This one's a bit tricky because it has a shrine next to it. It's not this one. Hit the hourglass and keep going. I promise you that's not it yet. It seems like it should be it, but it's not it yet. You're going through all this loop-de-loop section and stuff like this. And it's already 2.5 minutes still, but we're still fine. We still have like 1.5 minutes to still take just to get to the part to start finding this Chao. Bounce bracelet, skip all that. Bounce bracelet, skip all that. Oh, he shot twice. He said pop, pop, but he missed. Use the homing attack to get a little bit of extra speed. Now this, when you flip this hourglass and there's this long ramp, spin dash up it quickly. This right here. Play the Mystic Melody right here, and a spring will appear on top of this. Jump up to the spring. And what you want to do now is you want to hit this hourglass and be ready to make your jumps. Now, you don't have to make them first try, but you do want to not swing too long. Like maybe like on the second swing even. Woof, woof, all right? Womp, womp. And then you should still have enough time to slide under the door, and there's the Chao right there on the top of this platform. About 3 minutes and 31 seconds is under the 4 minutes you have required to still A-rank this bad boy. There we go. To find and A-rank the Lost Chao in Death Chamber, you're going to need the Hammer Gloves, the Shovel Claw, the Mystic Melody, and the Air Necklace. Now, start by breaking your way out of this section, which is what you mainly need the Hammer Gloves for, but you kind of get that level up item by default in this level, so you should be fine. When you get to the central room, go across the bottom, and you're looking for a shrine that should have a door next to it. And there, you need to play the Mystic Melody. Once you do that, you dive into the water here, and you want to get to the opposite side of this room as fast as possible, because again, finding the Lost Chao is based off of time. Go to the left, because I'm pretty sure it's not actually evenly around this circle, and it's slightly shorter path to the left and the right. Flip this hourglass, and then you want to, as fast as possible, make your way back over to where you first dove in, because there's a door down here that's starting to close. I've never been good at swimming in this game, actually, so I don't know if I'm going to make it in time, but if you do, which I think we might just barely, yeah, go into this section where there's robots and there's ghosts and they're all underwater and it's brightly lit even though I don't see a light source. That's interesting, Eggman. But yes, swim through this section, avoid these ghosts, avoid the robots, and you're going to come into the center room right here. You can hear the Chao crying, surface. There's a part, it's hard to see maybe, but there's a part where you can surface and you're back in a dry room. Get out the pool, go up here, climb one of these pillars. I'll take you to this first level and you'll see an hourglass. Hit it and then immediately go to the next level. So you can glide out here, quickly go over here, attach yourself to here, climb sideways, and there's this little platform over here. There's the Chao. Grab the Chao in under 1 minute and 30. It does take a little bit of time, but you can still A-rank it.
Yeah, this is perfect.
We are perfect. That's what we do. To find the Lost Chao in Eternal Engine, you're going to need the Mystic Melody level up items as well as the booster level up items, and that will be very important. As you gun and run through this level, This one can be a little bit hard to miss out on, so I might commentate this one quite a bit just to help make sure people got that visual. Obviously, if it's a video, you can skip ahead in the video if you really want to, right? But as you make your way up this level, and you get to about this section, I believe this section is everything that's normal. I don't even think you have to deal with artificial chaos, if I'm correct. It's before you encounter artificial chaos, as a matter of fact. But I could be wrong, which is why I'm talking this out. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out together. That's not what I wanted. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We're not fast enough. Yes, we are. We have a jet engine on the back of our walker. Of course, we're fast enough. But right here, when you flip that switch, turn to the left instead. The camera might even shift for you, but hover over here to the Mystic Melody, and it will spawn some platforms. It's time for some hardcore parkour. And an assault walker with a jet engine. Now what you want to do is take that all the way to this hover platform that will take you up like an elevator. Then there's a second platform like this, and also another platform going back and forth. You got to hit both of these. This one's a little bit longer than it seems, so you kind of want to be able to kind of hover, land, and then kind of just keep it going. It'll bring you to this room. Oh, you do have to deal with artificial chaos. I don't. I'm just going to walk past them. Hi, guys. You live here. I don't. Now you get to this area again. Get up on these metal crates which can't break. There's a platform going back and forth. Go when it feels safe in the center, but you actually want to be ready to jump when it gets towards the edge over that laser gate. You will have enough height. It's a little bit close, but you will have enough height. And there's the Chao. How did the Chao get lost on the Space Colony Arc of all places? I don't know, but that's how you get the Chao. And that's how you A rank it in a minute 40. A minute 40 is, it seems long, but some of these are balanced to understand that it's going to be long, so it's fine. To get the Lost Chao in Crazy Gadget, you're going to need the Mystic Melody, the Light Dash, as well as the Flame Ring. Really, at this point, any level up item of Sonic's you can get. Because like the lame of the level, this level's not lame, my bad, but like the name of the level, this level is crazy. That's what I get for trying to be cute and like commentate and stuff without a script. Honestly, a lot of my problems would be solved on YouTube if I just wrote scripts. I'm pretty sure. Like, I plan things, but I don't plan the dialogue. That's like the one thing I don't, because like, you know, authenticity. I can't speak now. English is my 14th language, by the way, I promise you. Much like this level, everything's crazy right now, of course, when we go to film. You know what's crazier to me than this level? It's crazy when I think there's electrified, aren't they? Yep. So we gotta wait anyways. I think what's crazier to me is when someone moves into your basement, but then calls themselves a hostage. Like, you didn't have to move into the basement. The front door is open. You can just leave anytime you want, but then you just don't. Why is that? How are you gonna call yourself a hostage at that point? You're not. There's food and everything, first of all, so like, I feel like in a hostage situation, that's not correct, but here we are. Capstan. Alright. Whatever your motives are, I don't know them. But I know one thing. Nothing. That's what I don't know. Anyways. Like I said, we gotta go to the end level. This is gonna be a bit of a trip if you want that visual learning session, you know? You can skip a lot of these things. I feel like you can't beat this level without certain level up items anyway, so like telling you to get the flame ring and stuff, if anything, the only one that maybe isn't like required, that would be super useful in all of these with Sonic, is the magic hand. The magic hand's not required, but boy is it useful. You can skip all of this. Yeah, so like the magic hand will make that easy. I'm basically like Thanos snapping people out of existence, and that's one of the best level up items I've ever seen in a Sonic game. Ta-da! We're going to the top route. Now we are at 3 minutes, so we do need to maybe speed up a little bit, but this next section goes a lot faster than it seems. So once we're at this little section right here, you gotta destroy these robots to get the switch to flip the gravity back down. But when you get to the final checkpoint, so at the final checkpoint, here's where the Lost Chao is in this giant massive room. You want to flip this switch, okay? Now usually you could go like to the left, as some people do. I like to jump down on the right to this giant platform right here. You can destroy the artificial chaos, and then what you're gonna want to do is flip the switch over here. On top of the purple platform now, follow it all the way around. There's a corner over here, and there's a shrine. Play it with the Mystic Melody, and the Light Dash will appear. Once the Light Dash appears, Light Dash your way to the top of this platform. The Chao is in the middle of the back of this area. Don't get shot, you know, and then grab the Chao. Don't get the Chao shot either. Chao getting shot is very violent. We don't like that. But we do like the A rank. To find the Lost Chao in Meteor Herd with Knuckles, the level up item you're going to need is the Mystic Melody. But now what you need to do is basically climb up to the Ark as fast as possible. There are several rockets that can help with this endeavor. Turn the camera accordingly if you want to find other platforms to jump to immediately, like this one over here. Grab this rocket as well. And when you get up on the Ark, you want to go to these top platforms, and you want to go as fast as possible around, because one of these will have the Mystic Melody on it. When you find that one, what's nice about it is it will spawn a portal. You'll see when we get up there for the visual, but for the sake of, there it is. As a matter of fact, the Mystic Melody will be right here, or you should play the Mystic Melody right here. It'll spawn a portal right in front over here. Also, don't let it hit you move. These meteors will take you out. You can hit like glide, dive to kind of go a little faster. There's a second Mystic Melody to play. Jump, dive, and it'll get you there a little faster. We can get under a minute probably, right? And whoosh. There's the Chao. How they get stuck up in there, we don't know, but we found them and they're safe now.
Yeah, this is perfect.
And that's how to A rank it. To find the Lost Chao in Final Rush with Sonic, you're going to need the Mystic Melody, the Light Dash, the Flame Ring, the Magic Hand, ibuprofen, and a ton of patience. I'm going to explain. This one I might actually leave the full footage in, because we need to commentate a little bit how this is going to go. First, we're going to get through most of this level towards the end, right? But the reason I mention ibuprofen and stuff is because there's a section where you're going to need patience and timing. The level of items aren't going to carry the experience, basically. And it's not that it's like annoyingly difficult, but you do got to be careful because there's an artificial chaos you're going to need to destroy, and you're going to need to use the momentum off of destroying it to get to the section you need to get to with the Chao. If you don't, you're going to have to restart. Now, because this is based off of time, restarting doesn't hurt you because even though it will reset your score, it won't like kill your entire ability to get an A rank. But it is something that can be a bit tricky, so just keep that in mind. Also with these vertical rails, by the way, when you jump on the very end and you get some extra height. I don't remember when I learned that, but I know some people still don't know that. But if you do like that at the very end, that's what the gold beetle is. That robot always sighs like it's the most annoying, or it's just the most annoyed with life. I think I'd be annoyed with life too if I was a gun agent, so that makes sense. Okay, didn't mean to do that. Meant to do that, but like better, cleaner. Now that we're on video, I can't suddenly do anything. Let's get that back, by the way. Yeah, if you have enough momentum, this makes getting up this section a lot easier too. But you don't have to use the vertical jump, by the way. I was just showing you how to do it in case you ever did want to shave off some time, if timing ends up being your issue with doing this. But you can just take these normally, and you will still get there in time. So that part's fine. This is another one of those generous, it gives you like 5 minutes to get there kind of a situations. So you don't have to do this trick. But if you're someone that ever wants to just maybe even just speedrun the game, just the regular level, that can be a nice little, thing to learn. Is that when you do like that, you can get to this, skip all that because you get it here now, and then we can just kind of keep it moving. Ooh. So yeah, we can ride this normally, hit this rail. We got a ways to go, so it's 2.5 minutes. We still got a ways to go. Don't worry. I'll let you know exactly when you need to start looking out. But you can also take some risk with the jumps too, because again, it's based off of time, not score. So even if you try to go for something and you whiff it, it's fine because it'll just reset you at the time that you were when you hit the checkpoint. So this section, when you get to up to here where there's the 2 rails, take the purple one or the orange one. It's fine either way. But you want to get to this platform over here, if anything, right? So there is a checkpoint. I would recommend grabbing the checkpoint really quick, as fast as possible, but do not go forwards. Hit the checkpoint, turn around, go back. The Mystic Melody is right here, or the shrine for the Mystic Melody is right here. It's going to spawn these platforms, and this is where the first part of patience kicks in. You need to jump on these platforms. On the second platform, you kind of need to line yourself up. You're going to need to homing attack to give yourself enough momentum to get part way up the rail, and then you have to trust yourself to do it again, which I didn't. I died. All right, so well, we got 20 seconds of time back. But basically, yeah, you want to go back over here, and this is where the ibuprofen is going to kick in too. Get the Mystic Melody out, buddy. Get on these platforms, line yourself up, and you want a homing attack. Get some momentum, jump again, homing attack. Maybe even need to do a third time, homing attack. That's how you get up that section. That's the easy part, funny enough. Play the Mystic Melody again. This is where you need the light dash. Okay. This part, just ride this part out. Don't be too fancy with this part. Ride this part out regularly. You're at this point, time is not too much of an issue. We're almost there. All right, I promise. This is the part that's most important, to the part I'm going to pause really quick, all right? There's an artificial chaos that's going to be here. There is a vertical rail you can possibly go up if you know how to do that trick, but it's so difficult that the easier thing to do is just attack this artificial chaos with a homing attack, all right? And use that momentum to grab the ledge. We did not, so it's over. That's a GG's. I just knew. I knew this one was going to be the difficult one. It doesn't matter how skilled you are at this game. This one is one of the most difficult ones, but this Chao deserves to be rescued just like the rest of them, so it's not being left behind. No Chao get left behind in this household. All right, here we go. You want to make sure you're not near the... Well, I mean... There we go. Here's a Chao. Under 4 minutes, but it took 3 minutes and 52 seconds and several deaths, I'm going to be honest, but it's still the A rank. There you go. When you homing attack the artificial chaos, so in my personal opinion, when you homing attack the artificial chaos, there is a chance you'll homing, if you try and like jump immediately to the platform, you'll hit the rail and be sent down. It's a bit of a troll move by Sega why they put that in there. Try and homing attack to a direction, even if you can't see, even if the camera's blocking, trying a homing attack to like the left or right at an angle, it's like a 45-degree angle because you're trying to jump onto the platform or even just grab the ledge. You want to avoid that rail at all costs because then you have to just like jump off a ledge and die to reset yourself back at the checkpoint. If the artificial chaos is dead, that thing has to be alive and you get one shot to do that. But you can still take about 4 minutes and still get the A rank is the thing that I want to emphasize. So you do maybe want to get there around the 3 minute, 10 second mark, but you'll still have plenty of time to actually get around the actual section and get the Chao. That does conclude the hero story Chaos. Now it's time to move on to the dark story. For Eggman, getting the Lost Chao and A-ranking it will require the Mystic Melody level up items, the Jet Engine level up item, because I think it's called something different for Eggman, while it tells us it's called the Booster, and you're going to need the Large Cannon, which is basically his bazooka. And I'll show you why. But for most of this level, you can actually just run and gun through it until you get to the level 3 security door breach. So break your way through the military, break their backs, make humble, get to this first giant elevator, because the military is very easy to handle. I thought they would be made of sterner stuff, but they're not. They're not so difficult. Yosh and all that good stuff. That's such a fun word to say. Yosh. Rest in peace, Tim Bristow, the voice of Eggman for this game, who passed away. So once you get past the elevator, which you can take your time riding it down, you don't have to speedrun it, get to this checkpoint. Right here, here's the level 3 security door breach. Now this is why you're going to need the bazooka, because you're going to need to go forwards here and take this spring. But this following spring is covered by an iron box that you need the bazooka to break. Once you do, take that spring, hover over, take this. Now hover over to this platform, which will have the Mystic Melody on it. You're not in too much of a rush at this point. When you play the Mystic Melody, it will spawn several platforms that you then can parkour up. Turn the camera when you're at the top, and there's another platform with a pulley over here. When you get up here, run and gun. Run and gun, because these Gumhawks will be annoying if you do not. Like this bad boy that's just waiting for you, kill him. Kill him too, even. There's a Mystic Melody over here you need to play, though, as fast as possible. It'll summon a spring as well as platforms. Get across these platforms pretty quickly, because at the top of this section is where the Lost Chao is hiding. There he is, and he's so sad, he's so miserable, but guess what? We got him in under 2 minutes. When you get this Chao in under 2 minutes, guess what that means? An A rank.
Now you know why I am the best.
Perfect. If you want an A rank finding the Lost Chao, and even just find the Lost Chao with Rouge and Dry Lagoon, what you need to do is have the Mystic Melody, Iron Boots, and Picknail level up items. But then what you want to do is start in the beginning level by going to the first wall and just scaling it up immediately, because you'll find 4 iron crates right here. And then dig into the mural in the center. You'll be sent to this room that has the Mystic Melody in it. Play it to raise the door, and then this will now be a portal you can jump into. I missed my jump. When you go through that portal, though, you'll be sent to where the Lost Chao is crying its eyes out, but we're here to rescue it, so it no longer has to cry anymore.
How is that? Perfect? Like me?
All these A ranks, and none of them stand for abandoned. To A rank and find the Lost Chao. For Sand Ocean for Eggman, you're going to need the Mystic Melody level up items, as well as a large cannon. Optional, you're going to need the Jet Engine. It will make you get to this level faster, since time limit is the main scoring factor for the Chao missions in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. So run and gun, really. Kind of find your way flying through this as fast as possible. Honestly, if you leave this alive, you can jump off of it and hover across this. Now, you might not be able to get up there, but you can go across this whole area without having to actually shoot all that down. I don't necessarily know if it's faster or not. If it just makes you feel good, though, there you can have that little trick for free. But now you want to run and gun until about out here. Now, this is the second of some spinning platforms, and this is where the Jet Engine can come in helpful, helping you get to just kind of skip a lot of this foolishness. And just, even if the camera messes up on you, you can kind of find your way when you're hovering and get the extra time to just hover. Now, this platform is important. This spinning platform is the most important because you want to actually go to this side instead where you see the spring. Do not go to this checkpoint. Follow it around. Even if it's a little time consuming, that's fine, because what you need to do is hover out to there. Dodge the spring. This platform that's going back and forth, it can be a little tricky to get on. Hovering isn't, you know, you need it actually. It's a requirement, I'm saying that. Break those iron containers, and if you can, hover around to over here. Jump around this. And then jump up here. You'll see the Chao crying. Only destroy one of these, so you can use it as a staircase to get up if you need to. And then grab the Lost Chao. Even Eggman likes helping the Chao out, alright? Under a minute and a half, that's an A rank. Yosh. To A rank, Radical Highway when it comes to finding the Lost Chao, and even just finding the Lost Chao to begin with, for Shadow the Hedgehog, you're going to need the Mystic Melody and the Light Dash level up items. We need to get to the bridge. The giant suspension bridge is where the Lost Chao is actually on top of. You need to actually kind of grind your way backwards, and I'm going to show you that in this, obviously, of course, but it's going to be a second. We're going to be here in a minute. So let's talk about hugs for a second. How do you feel about hugs? What is your opinion on hugs while we got a moment? You know, let's just talk that out, because some people like to hug it out even, you know? What are your thoughts on that? If you were in a hugless world, do you think you'd be more miserable than you are, or you're not really a toucher, so it doesn't really matter either way to you? Man, the military is trying their absolute best. How are they not shooting me is the question. Alright, we're almost at the part we need to get to. We're not quite there yet, though. But basically, once you start getting towards this part of the level, right? Got some pulleys, got some rockets, got some levers, got some friends. Or no, there's Big the Cat even. He was just hanging out. My camera was blocking, though. How'd I do that? Once you get past this checkpoint, you're heading towards the suspension bridge. So there's a double loop-de-loop, right? I'm going to spin dash even to make sure when I hit this ramp, we got enough momentum to get up here pretty easily. Homing attack up here, and we missed that. All right, cool. We're not him. We're playing a Shadow the Hedgehog, but we're definitely not him. Keanu Reeves is him. There we go. So the thing about this, skip all this. It's really tricky, but tightrope your way across this. It will just save you a lot of time if you can just kind of go up your way that way. Robot will spawn. Gold Beetle if you want. But what you want to do, instead of going forwards, go backwards down this. Trust yourself. Hit the grind. Go flying up this section instead, all right? Angle yourself, and you'll see there's a Mystic Melody. Why is there a Mystic Melody? Because you need to play that bad boy to summon some platforms. Once you summon these platforms, the Chao will be waiting for you on the other side. Way up here. In about 2 minutes, 10 seconds, that is enough to get the A rank, in fact.
Ultimate victory.
Ultimate victory, baby. To A rank Egg Quarters with Rouge the Bat. You're going to need the Mystic Melody, the Pick Nails, and the Iron Boots. There is a way to kind of make this a little bit faster if you're quick enough to dodge the weight that you'll see in a second, but if not, there is a quick way to still get this level done. Go immediately to the left like I did, all the way on the path, get up here, play the Mystic Melody, you'll go through a portal. There is a weight that if you're fast enough to get under, you can, you know, beat that, but if not, dig into this mural on the left side and you'll be brought to this room. Now in this room, destroy, I believe it's this box. I was incorrect, so it's this box. It's one of these boxes over to the left. It'll flip this switch. When you flip that switch and dig back in here, that weight will not move now. So now you can get under this weight pretty easily. Grab the Chao. And of course, we get grabbed by a ghost. I guess they like hugs too. I don't like that. Get away from me. Get off me. But don't get off me, A rank. A rank for amazing. Chao rescued. To A rank and find the Lost Chao even in Lost Colony. For Eggman, you're going to need the Mystic Melody and the Jet Engine level up items. The jet engine, you can't beat this level without getting anyways, but the Mystic Melody, that's a bit more of a risky one. You're gonna need to fight your way through a decent chunk of this level, but the first outside area is where we're actually aiming for. You'll know it when we see it too, trust me. All that good stuff. I'm not a voice actor. So this area, once you get outside here, this first gun beetle, stop. Because right here, it might be a little hard to see, however if you need to, but there's a platform you need to jump down to, and it will raise you up here. There, you'll find a Mystic Melody Shrine, play it. And you know what that means. It's either going to summon a portal, or it's going to summon platforms. It's time for a little Walker parkour. Now this part's a little tricky because this is going to have a giant open area you need to hover, and there's the Chao over there. A beetle robot will spawn out of nowhere, and you do need to kill it to unlock the door, so be careful. Because if you hit that guy, it'll drop you before you actually have the ability to get in here. But if you do that, and you get across here, you'll open the door, there's the Chao. In about 1:50, guess what? That's still an A rank. Piece of cake. To find the Lost Chao and weapons bed as Eggman and A-rank it, you're going to need the Mystic Melody level up items. Really, that's actually it. Blaze through this as fast as possible. There's a couple tricks you can maybe utilize as well. Like this. I don't necessarily know if this is faster, but if it feels oh, wow. Okay, never mind. We're not going that way. That guy said no. No YouTube tricks. I'm like, alright, fine, fine. Maybe the people want to hear my voice. We'll take the slow, steady version then. Okay, cool. All right, it's whatever then. So the first air carrier, we're skipping. This is not the air carrier we need. We need the second air carrier. Not to be confused with the egg carrier. See, the Lost Chao, funny enough, is right over there. But we can't get there yet. But we will be able to get there. Soon. There's a second air carrier. It's spawning to our right. The reason I kind of don't do a speedrun stuff is just to kind of, again, show that you can do this like the regular way. You don't have to do a speedrunner strat to necessarily get an A rank, but it's nothing against speedrunning. There's nothing against speedrunner strats either. If you know how to do that, go for it. But with the second air carrier, you want to run down, dodge missiles, of course, but right over near the bridge tower, right? There's going to be a place over here where we can play the Mystic Melody, all right? It's going to spawn a portal. We're going to jump through the portal, walker and all, and it's going to drop us basically right on top of the Chao in under 1:55. About 1:50 at the moment. That is enough for the A rank, however. Yosh. To A rank and even find the Lost Chao in Security Hall, you technically don't need any level up items, you just need speed. You need to get to the top area as fast as possible. Hit the spring, hit the pulley, and the Lost Chao is actually on top of a lot of platforms in this main safe room. So however you want to get up there, get up there. I like going to the left, for example, get a little bit of a boost from the aerial, right? And there's this platform with these wooden boxes. So what you need to do is actually do the spiral uppercut thing that you can do with Knuckles, right? When you go around the circle and then do that. Glide, grab the platform, and then snatch the Chao. All in under 30 seconds. It can be really difficult, you know, sometimes you don't jump high enough, but if you do, A rank.
Perfect, like me?
My emerald, my destiny. To find the Lost Chao in White Jungle for Shadow the Hedgehog, we're going to need the Mystic Melody level up item. And you need to get through most of the level. You're going to be towards the end of the level before you actually get to the section where you even use the Mystic Melody to be able to find the Lost Chao. Observe. What is abandon? What is emotional abandonment? Because I feel like when you're going through it, and so you want a hug and you don't get a hug, you might not be abandoned by presence, but you're abandoned by the physical support that you are looking for, right? At least that's what some people say. I don't actually know. Personally, when I'm feeling down, what I like to do is play some Sonic Adventure 2. No, people are going to think I play this game because I'm depressed now. I don't need people thinking I'm depressed and worrying like that. You think Shadow likes hugs? Like, he doesn't give hugs, but you think he likes hugs? Like, if the moment's right? Like, he's not a hugger, and he doesn't really get hugs often, if ever. Amy accidentally hugged him, you know. But you think he's like, you know what? When I'm really in a brooding mood, I'm up on the Ark, looking at the planet below, and realizing Maria's not next to me anymore, a hug could do wonders. Why did you do that? Yeah. I guess the answer is no. That's why he rolled me back into that robot. He's like, keep my name out your mouth. I'm like, all right, buddy. I'm sorry. Okay. So like I said, we need to get quite a bit of ways through the level, so we're still chilling. We've been chilling, if anything. It's just, like I said, I got 3 of them. 3 of them. 3! And they all got different levels of abandonment issues, and I don't know why. I don't have the answers. That's the crazy part. Now, I can make the dumb joke. I can make the dumb joke and be like, women. That's not right, though. This guy, oh, look, Big the Cat. All right, this is the section we need to pay attention, by the way. So when you get to this pulley and pull your way over, you can technically use this weight if you want, but you don't have to. Get over here instead. Go up here, but instead of taking this pulley, turn around instead and go down this way. If you go all the way to the end of this cavern, or it's not really a cavern, my bad, but this platform really, there's the Mystic Melody, play the Mystic Melody, and what it will do is it will spawn, you got it, platforms. It's time to parkour. People have jumps. If you hold the jump button for max height, jump pretty high. Now use these pulleys instead. Oh, that's what I get for being impatient. This guy's a lightning shield. Wait for it. And then as you homing attack, more robots will show up, and you can snatch this Chao up in under 3 minutes. Under 2 minutes 55 even, but definitely under the 3 minutes. So guess what? A rank. A rank for ultimate victory. Yeah, I'm like, wait, hold on. Ultimate does start with A. Yes, it does. So just for posterity, Route 280 does not have a Find the Chao, so we either skip that one and instead go to Skyrail. To find the Lost Chao for Shadow the Hedgehog in Skyrail and A rank it, you're going to need the Mystic Melody, as well as the Light Dash for Pumpkin Hill daytime mode, if you will. Because the Lost Chao is at the top of Pumpkin Mountain, as a matter of fact. An area that you usually skip when you're doing this level normally, but not for this specific mission. Here we go. Get past the first checkpoint as usual. This part's fine. But as we approach Pumpkin Mountain, as a matter of fact, we want to kind of grind around this as fast as possible. Get to the top area. And before the next checkpoint, as a matter of fact, is where we need to make a deviate. Get the life if you want, but do not get the checkpoint. Okay, that was... Don't do that. I'm trying to educate people, gun robot. That's why gun sucks. Instead, go over here and you'll see a Mystic Melody. Play it and it will spawn a ring of Light Dash rings to go across. Do that. Use the propeller. Go up here. Go up here. Now you're up here. There's a gun robot you can use to jump up at some point, but otherwise, get to this area, destroy this robot, and right here at the top of Pumpkin Mountain is the Chao. If you can't jump up there, well, there's a spring propeller right here too. It's being guarded by a scarecrow. I fumbled that so badly. I'll be surprised if it's not an A rank, because they still give you a lot of time to get the A rank. Don't worry about it. That's why I leave this in. You can mess up and still A rank. To find the Lost Chao and A rank it with Rouge the Bat, you're going to need the Mystic Melody and the Iron Boots level up items. Start by going forward, breaking the iron container, flipping the switch, and then using this rocket to go as high up as possible. Because what you need to do is get way up there on the Space Colony Ark as it looks back at us. It's kind of terrifying. And when I mean get up to the Ark, go as high up as possible. All the way up to these platforms. Go to the right and try and get up here to one of these overlooking pathways. What you will find on one of them is in fact a Mystic Melody shrine that you can play. I believe it's this... past this guy. Forget that guy. Forget that guy entirely. Yep. There'll be a platform right down here with Artificial Chaos. That was rude, buddy. Play this bad boy. Because we're going to find a Moon Chao. Yeah, I know some of y'all will be like, oh, Moon, blah, blah, blah. Alright, well, guess what? You got one, alright? Go into this platform, and you'll spawn in here. Run down here as fast as possible. Use the pick iron boots to get through these iron, containers. Another platform. Get through here. Why? Because the Chao is right down here. Guarded by a gun robot. Get through this platform. Another portal. And this final one, on a moon symbol, is the Chao. And it was miserable, and now it's not miserable. It's not abandoned anymore. You can stop crying. And that's how you get the A rank. To A rank Finding the Lost Chao with Eggman on Cosmic Wall, the level bottom requirement is going to be the Mystic Melody. Now with this one, it's all speed based, but this one can be a little confusing if you don't know the level layout, and that's completely understandable. Take a few attempts to practice it if you don't get it first try, but maybe just knowing where the Chao is will help you. But you kind of want to run and gun up this first section for quite some time until you see like one of these pyramid looking things, but off to the side. These pyramids right here, you're looking for one that's off to a side platform as you're going up here. You'll kind of know it when you see it though. It won't be too hard to find. This is the main path still. But when you get around here, with artificial chaos and stuff, and there's a checkpoint even. Yeah, at the top of this checkpoint, this first checkpoint, there's a platform off to the side. Go to it instead and destroy this pyramid. C4 is usually used for this kind of stuff. Play the Mystic Melody, however, and you'll see a spring. Take that spring and it'll take you on a different path. And on this different path is where you're going to find the Lost Chao. Follow it. Remember, use the hover because it's low gravity to get maximum jump. And be able to get up here as fast as possible. Inside this pyramid is your Lost Chao. And that's why you blow up pyramids. A rank, baby. Yosh. To find the Lost Chao and A rank it with Chao the Hedgehog, you're going to need the Mystic Melody level up item as well as the Light Dash level up item. But you can also take about 4.5 minutes and still get the A rank because the Chao is basically at the very end of the level. So you don't have to worry about speedrunning this if you don't want to, though if you know any tricks, that will help you. Like that, for example. Sometimes it's the small tricks. This level has, of course, the infamous gravity drums, which made a return in Shadow Generations, but in Shadow Generations, they felt better. I love this game, but I will say their iteration in Shadow Generations, you know, 24 years later was, I guess 23 years later, was good. They did a good job bringing that back, but not making it feel like it was just annoyingly frustrating. And even in this game, it's not that it's super frustrating, right? When you land on them, keep jumping to kind of keep going forwards if you want, instead of having to spin around. You know, there you go, skip that whole section. But I can understand people's frustrations, and I don't think it's invalid that not everyone has the same experience with this game that I do, which is usually pretty positive and fun. Okay, that was scary, because usually you use the speed panels to guide you home. One thing I want to reiterate one last time, too, is you can die. Your score is based off of time, so you can die, and your score will reset to 0, sure, but you can just keep it moving, and it's actually fine. So if you find yourself dying and have to restart at the checkpoint, don't get too frustrated with yourself, because that's actually fine, because the score doesn't care if you have a 0 or several 1s in front of that 0, or a 1 followed by 17 zeros. As long as your time is fast, it will still give you the A rank, regardless. Okay. So we make it look easy because this is a recording. So even if I mess up, I can honestly just restart until I get a perfect run. let me just put that out there too. Like, listen. I have played this game for many, many years, so maybe I am pretty good at it, like decently well. But part of this too is like, if I mess up, this is a YouTube recording. This isn't like a Twitch live stream, right? I could just make myself look better in the edit. I promise you. So if you're comparing yourself to me for some reason as you go through this, please don't. I promise you, I've had plenty of deaths, even just in this recording session sit down, even after practicing, to figure out where all the Chao were. So, by all means, it's fine. These guys will be abandoned no more, and once I complete this and the next mission, my abandonment allegations will be defeated by my favorite video game of all time, and that's very fitting to me. I imagine that it's such a rewarding feeling to be able to be helped by a thing that's helped you for many moons. I should have said suns. Why'd I say many moons? I'm never gonna... Okay. Anyway, so we're approaching the end of the level, but we're not quite there yet. We're still in the gravity drums of war over here, because that's all these things want, is hands. But this is what I mean. So there's a checkpoint coming up. So if you die at this next section, it's fine. Where's the checkpoint? Here it is. So this part, this final checkpoint, what you want to do is actually make your way across here, right? Same as usual. You can take time. It's fine. When you get to this final pulley, right, and you want to jump up here. And you want to jump up here. If you have a shield, this will actually be kind of helpful in a second. But do not take the spring. You'll see this pulley. Take this pulley instead, all right? What this pulley will do is bring you up here where the Mystic Melody is. Play it. And then you need the light dash to get across, which is why you don't want a magnet shield, by the way. If you have a magnet shield, that will have problems. Now you want to speed up here for a little bit, like past the meteorites, but then slow down. There are laser gates, all right? And the laser gates will just, yeah, they'll do that. Okay, my timing is horrible, apparently. Apparently, I'm not him. I'm taking this a little slow because I want to show you can still go slow and be fine, though. Take this pulley, jump up here. Here's the Chao. 4 minutes, 40 seconds seems like a long time, but guess what? Guess what? It's still an A rank. I don't want to necessarily, like, I'm not trying to, like, humanize the experience, but I want to let you know you don't have to be, like, the best of the best to still A rank all of these missions. You can mess up. You can be a little sloppy. Obviously, like I said, I'm doing a YouTube recording. I could do perfect runs for all of these and just look like the best thing ever. I don't want to because you might not be there. So then how is that helping you? What am I basically? Get good before you can be good. I mean, yes, I suppose, but like you don't. Some of us play games casually or for fun or to veg out, to de-stress. So I'm not trying to inject more stress in right now. You know what I'm saying? So that does complete all of the dark missions. Obviously, there's still one more mission left to do. To find the Lost Chao and A-rank it for Cannon's Core, the final level, you're going to need the Mystic Melody level up items for Eggman, Rouge, and Knuckles, the Air Necklace for Knuckles, as well as the Light Dash for Sonic. But first, you get the Tails' section. For Tails' section, just play through it regularly. Get through it as fast as possible. Nothing really changes for this section. You just complete it. Yeah, so this section, basically the same as usual. You just kind of you run and gun, because again, it's all about timing. Now it's cool because the time thing is here. They actually stop the timer straight up. So we're at 34 seconds. We're still at 34 seconds. We're still at 34 seconds, right? Now, not actually in the video that you're watching on YouTube, we're not, but for this we are. For this part, you can kind of just trust it, jump it, hover down. See if I can get this guy to peekaboo a bit fast. Yep, there we go. Can I fit under there? I sure can. Can even do that. Now, one thing you want to do, let this go, get the weights down, and then hit that bad boy. And the reason you want to do that is because when you're up here, you can actually lock onto that switch constantly to keep the time frozen. So we're at like 44 seconds. Turn around every so often, hit the switch again. Turn around again, hit the switch again. Turn around again, hit the switch again. Open that door, hit the switch again. And just keep the timer down at 44 seconds. So for Eggman's section, this is where things actually change. We need to get to the first checkpoint. I can actually skip all of these guys. These guys I can't skip, but I can skip those first guys. We can kill these 4. The first checkpoint is going to be very important because there is going to be a thing we need to do on the railing at the first checkpoint. I'm going to show you, right? Like this part's going to be fully in. So you're going to see it, but... There we go. Punch that guy. It's going to drop down here. When you play the level enough, you can trust that. I knew I was going to be fine. Hello? There we go. Ah, yes, this room. This room's kind of fun. You know. If you know where to go. I'm going to show you where to go, of course. I'm not going to leave you hanging now. We've left all this other stuff in. We're going to leave this in, too. I'd say let this go until about... These 2 boxes come down about midway. Use them... because you need to kind of get out over here. And then with these 3 right here, you're going for the far right one. So when the timer stops, hover over here. This one will start raising out like this, like an elevator. Ride it on up. Ride it on up. Yosh. Now, like I said, we're looking for that first checkpoint, which we actually haven't hit yet. This will be close. Hit this one. Here's the checkpoint. So this is where it gets important. At this checkpoint, you're not going to be able to hit that platform anymore. So you have to jump onto this railing right here. And then hover across to get to this door. The reason you have to do this is because you need to play the Mystic Melody that's inside here. Now, it will spawn a shield here, but does nothing else otherwise. But now, complete the level as usual. So you can just Mission Impossible your way down this. Kind of a little shimmy shimmy. Hover over here. Get in here. And then you complete Eggman's level as usual at this point. What you did is you unlocked a door in Rouge's section. So in Rouge's section, we're now going to have a door that's been unlocked because we did that. If you don't get that, you're not going to be able to basically complete this level. And it's important. It's very important that you do that. Alright, so this one you can't really hit the switch. You'll just kind of run and gun over to the door as fast as possible. Call it good. So now in Rouge's section, there's a door that's open to the left over here. Fly down it. Play the Mystic Melody. We need to do that because we have to unlock something in Knuckles' section that's coming up. You'll also get a shield for free because why not? Now, complete Rouge's section as usual as well. So climb up these platforms, these pillars as fast as possible. As fast as Rouge will move. For some reason on the Steam release version of the game, the sound effects are way louder than they were on the GameCube version. Why would we fall? That's weird. There we go. I don't think that's I didn't want to actually hit that. I don't think I can make that. Yeah, I think that's a bit too far. I think I need to let this go for a little bit. There we go. That should be good enough. How nice of you to just kind of freeze. Freezes everything. It's like a Chaos Control in Switch form. Wow, okay, there we go. I don't think I can fit. I don't think I can fit in the hole. I think that hole is a bit too snug, but we're gonna wait it out then. Okay, now we might be able to fit. There we go. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. So, this is going to be important. So for Knuckles' section, when you spawn in, if you go immediately up, you'll notice there's now some floating platforms up here that were not there before. This is what Rouge spawned. You don't actually have to hit the switch. I just like stopping time. Get up these platforms. There's a pulley that will take you up here. And there's a Mystic Melody right here. This now opens something in Sonic's section. Now, just complete Knuckles' section as usual. Knuckles' section can be a little difficult, even with the air necklace, because the air necklace will just stop you from drowning. But there's certainly these, like, some of these places be a bit rough to try and Did I get switched around? Did I get swept around? No, I did not. Some of them, the way the streams be pushing, you don't know if you're gonna make it anyway, so you don't need to be worrying about drowning. The audacity of shooting at me. I just like hitting the switches whenever possible, as long as it's not out the way, because it does stop the timer, right? This has been longer than 4 minutes, but the timer says 3 minutes 56 seconds right now. That's crazy, I did too. Hit the switch. The time stop thing is up here. Swim. Swim like your life depends on it. I like diving a little bit every so often. I don't know if it actually does make me any faster though. It feels like it does, which is, you know, part of the importance, but lasers. All right, you got James Bond in this section. Tight circles will help you kind of navigate through here. Dive towards the center, hit the switch. You're gonna get through there. And when there's a switch in the middle of this hallway, in my opinion, use your momentum to hit that switch and round to right immediately instead of stopping to hit the switch, because otherwise you might get shoved back. So right here, hit the switch, and then keep your momentum going, because that switch is a lot. Oh, there's a seal. What up, seal? Boom. Now we're in this room. Dive, 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 buddy. Now we're finally in Sonic section. About in-game, 4 minutes, 20 seconds, you know. But out-game, it's probably like 7-8 minutes already. Now with Sonic section, we want to go most of the way through until we get to those water pathways that are kind of reminiscent of Lost World from Sonic Adventure. Psych. Also, this is where the magic hand comes into handy. You don't need it, but this is why I would recommend it. You can just look at this guy. Thanos snap him out of existence, he's gone. To reset the camera, by the way, walk back over here. They'll turn the camera. So then when you go back this way, which is what you just unlocked, you can see it a bit better. Yeah, we're just going to do that. Get rid of that guy. Hit the switch. Guess what? I'm going to look at this guy. Get rid of him as well. Go back, hit the switch. Because this is where it gets important. So for this next section, it's very, very important. Get a running start if you need to, all right? So I'm going to back up even. Go like this. Running start. Hit over there. Homing attack quickly over here. Get the gold beetle. Jump up here, though. Hit this switch. Now, when I get off this switch, we're going to go under this. Somersault under. Go up into some boxes, and then we'll be at the water pathways, reminiscent, like I said, of Lost World from Sonic Adventure 1, because the Ark's core is based off of a lot of that, including the Shrine of the Master Emerald, right? So if you get to this part, get ready. We actually are, because there's going to be a light dash section that's now available once we get into the waterways. I'm going to show you it, of course. Here we go. Somersault, bounce bracelet, jump up here. Now, when you get out here, there's a light dash section that's now available that would not be available if you did not get all the first stuff, and you need to hit it, of course. Oh, we did not hit it. Okay, we didn't get this far. You will listen to me. There we go. All right, I know I can do it. You got to defeat these two guys, and then you can skip all this. Here's the Chao. Grab the Chao. Just grab the Chao. Just grab the Chao. Under 6 minutes in game. That's still enough for an A rank. It gets a little difficult at the end there for some reason, but yeah, that's how you A rank cannon score. It takes time, and it really does, but it's worth, because that's the final one. And now, to find the Lost Chao in Green Hill Zone, when you've gotten all 180 emblems. I'm kidding, there's actually no Lost Chao here, but what I want to take a second here is, it's all nice and wholesome and great, because now the allegations are gone, right? Like, much like Canon's core, what is the core issue when someone wants something from you that is very confusing, right? Communication. Communication's everything. But what if that person's a wild card? You know who you are. The third of the three of them, alright? We talked about the first one in the hero story. We talked about the second one with the dark story. We're talking about the third one now. I don't know anymore. That one, I actually don't know. Actually, you know, that's a great part. But, you know, Green Hill's fun. You know, they did this before Generations did it, before any other games did it. So it was really cool, you know, in 2001. But my word, what about like mental affection instead, right? What about that? What about like mental like support or something? I don't know what that would look like. Yeah, your brain looks really cool and definitely not smooth. There we go. There we go. We're at the end already? I barely killed anything. There's no way I am ranking this.
Yes.
But man, our time bonus is gonna be beautiful. Well,
Just made it.
C for see you later. No, it's C for Chao. I did this on purpose. See, one of the ways we're ending this video is we're going to the Chao Garden now. Because our first victim, Capstan, constantly gets left behind in kindergarten. But this time she was left there on purpose because I wanted to end this video this way. Where we defeat the allegations once and for all by going to pick them up and take them out of kindergarten. We're taken. Don't worry. We've come to get you. There we go. I could just leave them for Belle. Maybe they want to learn Belle. But no. This is where we go and we save them. I don't have a Mioi or Etsuko Chao though. So I guess I really can't say anything about that part. But guess what? Capstan. I wonder if Capstan can swim. She cannot. Nope, never mind. We're not doing that. We're not adding something new. Oh, you tried to drown them. No, I didn't. There we go. Look how happy. See how happy they are? That's not abandonment. That's happiness. The happiness they never felt elsewhere, huh? But anyways, that is how to find and A rank all of the Lost Chao in Sonic Adventure 2. Fun game. I love it. We're going to play more of it. And again, if you want to see like a level up item version where I go through and find all the level up items to that, especially a lot of these that you'll need to be able to beat these levels, let me know. Let me know about that in the comment section down below. But now that Capstan's free, We're also going to end by going back to Pumpkin Hill. So Pumpkin Hill, you don't need any level up items, but in case you do want to do that one, to A rank Pumpkin Hill and find the Lost Chao, you need the Mystic Melody level up item, and you want to get to Pumpkin Mountain as fast as possible, because what you need to do is get to the top of Pumpkin Mountain specifically. There are a couple rockets and stuff that will help you accomplish this task. Once you get up to the top of Pumpkin Mountain and you have the Mystic Melody level up item, there'll be a shrine right here to be able to play. When you play it, it will spawn a series of platforms at the top of the mountain right over here. When you parkour off of these platforms, you will in fact be able to get to this hidden area up here, and once you do, and get all the way to the end of them, you'll find the little guy crying his eyes out. But he's not going to cry his eyes out anymore, because now he's been rescued a second time. There we go. A rank.
Yeah, this is perfect.
My emerald, my destiny. That is the conclusion of the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So until next time, take care and enjoy pizza responsibly. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.